Thanks for joining us on the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Kerdisha St. Coming up, CARICOM Secretary General says remarkable progress in CARICOM since implementation of CSME, heads of government to discuss way forward for CARICOM, and community of Trafalgar to benefit from plans and projects. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after this.
Introducing the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app, available for download from the Google Play Store, One Mobile Market, and the Government of Dominica's website. Access to all ministries and sub-departments' phone, email and office addresses and websites. Simply select a ministry and the sub-department. You can dial directly from the app or save the numbers to your phone contacts. It's convenience at your fingertips.
Is my passport ready for pickup? Good. It really works.
Download the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app today.
Welcome back. Outgoing chairman of the Caribbean Community, Dominica's Prime Minister, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, is urging CARICOM leaders to put more effort into completing tasks set by governments of the Caribbean community. He made this call while addressing the 28th intersessional meeting of heads of government of CARICOM in Guyana.
During this meeting, we'll be brought up to date on the status of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME. It will be no surprise if it provides us with further evidence of the need for greater effort by all concerned to complete the task set by the heads of government. Of particular concern is the inability of the Legal Affairs Committee, comprising of our Attorneys General, to come together to deal with critical agreements with respect to both the CSME and regional security. I am also concerned that our Council for Finance and Planning has not been able to meet for a considerable period of time. We can and certainly must do better.
Another aspect which will be looked at is the Information and Communication and Technology Roadmap. The single ICT space will allow for harmonization of ICT and other legislative frameworks, the removal of roaming charges, the encouragement of digital entrepreneurship, equipping all citizens as digital citizens, and looking at ICT financial solutions, among other regional benefits.
I must, however, commend Prime Minister Mitchell and the ministers with responsibility for information and communication technology, ICT. They accepted the mandate given last July to consider the ICT roadmap and make recommendations to the conference. And at this meeting, we have those recommendations before us for consideration. As heads of government, we have a responsibility to ensure that those who have been tasked with fulfilling our mandates participate fully in the relevant discussions. We are dealing with matters that strike at the heart of both the concerns of our community and the strengthening of our integration movement. Indeed, these matters are also of great significance to all our countries domestically.
Trans-border crimes will also be discussed during the two-day meeting.
The completion of the regional security architecture, for example, has resonance regionally and nationally, as we need these institutional arrangements to combat the scourge of crime that is afflicting us all. Cross-border crime is a serious concern within our community. We need the legal instruments to combat it in our countries as well as regionally. This is a time for action. We cannot afford the luxury of procrastination.
Means of enhancing tourism in the region to assist in economic growth will also be discussed, as well as marketing, human resource development, strengthening linkages in other sectors, and transportation. The outgoing CARICOM chairman stated that the concentrated attacks on the economies, whether through the withdrawal of correspondent banking services, listing Caribbean countries as non-cooperative tax jurisdictions, or degenerating the citizenship-abide investment programs, confirms that CARICOM countries are operating in a hostile environment.
This is compounded by the fact that most of us have been graduated out of receiving concessional development financing, even though there has been some progress in mitigating the impact of this particular mechanism. Mr. Chairman, we must acknowledge that we stand a better chance of combating and surviving the challenges if we work closely together. This is why, therefore, we must take the necessary action to pursue vigorously those issues that would advance our integration movement. It is in our individual interest to act collectively. The helping hand and solidarity which we so willingly share in adversity must, in the same spirit, be extended to all other aspects of our integration. We must prepare ourselves to confront this era of uncertainty in global affairs with a flexibility and innovativeness built on a solid platform of integration, economic cooperation, human and social development, security cooperation, and foreign policy coordination.
In related news, the CARICOM community has identified the Caribbean single market and economy as the best vehicle to promote the overall economic growth and development for Caribbean countries. This is according to Secretary General of CARICOM, His Excellency Erwin Larocque. Larocque was speaking at the opening ceremony of the 28th Intersessional Meeting for Heads of Government of CARICOM.
This can be seen in the legal and institutional measures and mechanisms to support a free movement of goods, services, skills, and cross-border establishment of businesses. However, there is still much to be done. That work has been supported by the rulings of the Caribbean Court of Justice, which is providing the legal certainty so necessary for the operations of the CSME. Such community jurisprudence becomes even more important as we deepen our economic and commercial relations.
Ambassador Larocque hopes that emphasis will be placed on CSME and that decisions which will benefit this program will be taken.
With all that is before us, it is relevant and timely for this meeting to consider a comprehensive review of the CSME as agreed to last July. Ideally, a review of the CSME must not only be about what has been done or not done and what might have been the constraining factors. It should also be about the impact and how it has measured up to intent and expectations, and therefore how the shortcomings might be addressed. Gauging the impact of integration is an integral part of the reform process underway in our community. That reform is driving the change in the way we do business and aims to make the Secretariat, regional institutions, and the Member States more accountable in the conduct of their roles as implementing partners in the integration process.
The conference ended on Friday. You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
Children, yell and tell. If someone tries to abuse you, tell until someone believes you and they do something about it.
For more information on child abuse or to report suspected cases on child abuse, contact the Social Welfare Division on 33 Great Marlborough Street or call 266-3020 or 266-3080.
Welcome back. The Roseau Valley constituency will soon benefit from numerous projects and programs. This is according to the Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Roseau Valley, Dr. John Colin McIntyre. He was welcoming the constituents to a town hall meeting in Trafalgar on Thursday, attended by the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, Francine Barron, Honorable Minister for Tourism, Robert Tong, and the Honorable Minister for Trade, Energy and Employment, Ian Douglas. The Honorable Minister for Tourism, Robert Tong, in addressing the ceremony, commented on the importance of community tourism, which is a growing trend in the Caribbean.
Dominica is a beautiful country, and what we try to do is to promote our natural beauty of Dominica in terms of our rivers, our lakes, the sea, our natural flowers, our mountains, our whales, our dolphins. So everything that's natural that we have to offer, including our foods, because we prepare some lovely foods, and persons nowadays want to come to our country and to truly experience what island life is all about. So they want to be immersed in what we are doing. They don't want to just simply go to a beach and lie down on the beach. They want to be part of the community, and that's why community tourism is also important to the ministry. And we support the Dominica Community Tourism Association with funding so that they can assist the various communities who want to improve on the facilities that they have, so that persons in their community can benefit.
He also highlighted the significance of marketing, which his ministry takes very seriously.
The government listening to the private sector and also listening to the technocrats in the ministry realize that we have to, if we want more people coming to Dominica, we have to market better. So many of you have businesses and many of you advertise, so it's the same thing that the government of Dominica has to do through the Ministry of Tourism and through the Discover Dominica Authority is to market the country as much as possible. When we do our marketing, we try to send our message specifically to people who are in tune with what we have to offer. Our marketing budget has actually doubled to $8.5 million, which will allow us to do a lot more in terms of attracting persons and trying to get them to want to come to Dominica.
In his address, the Honorable Minister for Trade, Energy and Employment, Ian Douglas, revealed to the community that plans are in the works for a poultry project financed by funds from the Citizenship by Investment program.
We have some programs that we run in poultry because you know that we have the abattoir right now. So we have about 8 units that we have set up, one in Portsmouth, one in Melvin Hall, one in Grand 4, one in Benz and a couple of others. And your pal rep has spoken to me about a poultry unit somewhere in the Roseau Valley. I don't know if it's Trafalgar, but one of the places, and that one probably is on the first one on the cards in the new budget because our money ran out. So as soon as we are replenished, I can tell you, I promise you, Dr. Mark, that you will in fact have your unit set up so that your young men and women who want to go into poultry production and maybe even pork production to supply those hotels and to supply the abattoir can become trained. So when you are trained, you can go to the small business unit or you can go to the aid bank where we have put the 10 million for agriculture and you can get a soft loan at 3%.
He also gave an update on the geothermal energy plant.
A 7 megawatt geothermal plant right next door to you in Loda with the ultimate hope that we can take off the burden of electricity bills on your back in the long term. That is the vision we want. We want to be truly known as the sustainable island of the world where persons from around the world can look at Dominica as the great example of sustainable development. And if we have geothermal, we will be not only saving millions that we use to invest to buy diesel for Domlec on a yearly basis, an annual basis, but we also have the potential further down the road. After the completion of this small plant, we want to start investigating the possibility of exporting that energy to Matnik and Guadeloupe. And so far, the government have spent about $50 million already on the development of geothermal.
GIS will bring you more in a subsequent newscast. And finally, this news time, a member of parliament for the Bellevue-Chopé community has announced that funds have been made available to assist small business owners in that village. Honorable Parliamentary Representative Dr. Kenneth Daru says the Prime Minister and Minister for Finance has approved $150,000 to develop small businesses in Bellevue. The minister announced this at a town hall meeting held at Bellevue-Chopé on Thursday.
I was also authorized by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Prime Minister, he's the one who holds the purse strings of the country, to announce that within the next week or two, that $150,000 is also going to be sent to the Council for small business.
The MP explained that disbursements of funds will be done in a prudent manner in order to ensure accountability of the funds.
The fact that this money is coming doesn't mean that it's going to be a free for all where everybody decide well they want money, is okay to do X, Y, Z. And what we see happening a lot of times is that people receive government funding and they do all other things they did except what it was given for, okay? This is going to be done in a very strict way, okay? We'll have standard application forms where you will apply, you have to submit invoices, etc. And rest assured that even though some of the councillors, especially Mr. Shillingford, who are currently in the council, that you will be visiting, whatever project is you are able to do to ensure that the money that you are given are spent to what is being not taken to go St. Martin for weekend shopping.
The funds made available for small business development in Bellevue-Chopé was generated through Dominica's Citizenship by Investment program. GIS News will bring you more updates from this in a subsequent newscast. Let's now join Priska Julian for a recap of this week's headline stories.
Welcome to this week's edition of Flashback. In the headlines this week, the Bureau of Gender Affairs collaborated with the Dominica Police Force, NGOs, and government departments to host a domestic and gender-based violence training workshop. According to the project officer of the Bureau of Gender Affairs, Melissa Morgan, this workshop is necessary as the fight against domestic violence is not just the responsibility of public, but a wide range of institutions. Honorable Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit has announced that government will inject $45 million into Dominica's geothermal project. Honorable Skerrit says the success of this project, funded through the Citizenship by Investment program, will have a positive impact on the private sector. A 5-day workshop was held at the Fort Young Hotel from Monday, aimed at improving the management of Dominica's fishing borders. The Ministry of Agriculture collaborated with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations to develop a strategy and action plan for the compliance of the 2009 FAO Agreement on port-state measures to prevent, deter, and eliminate illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. Also on Monday, the Ministry of Trade, Energy and Employment launched the first ever Seafarers Certification Training Program held in Dominica under the theme to create skillful background for the future endeavors. Honorable Ian Douglas, Minister for Trade, Energy and Employment, shared that the introduction of this training to Dominica seafarers came from the realization that a lack of certified seafarers could stifle trade in Dominica. The Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, while addressing the 28th Intersessional Heads of Government meeting of Caribbean Community in Guyana, highlighted some of his achievements during his tenure as chairman of the CARICOM. Honorable Skerrit served as chairman of CARICOM from July to December 2016. And finally, the Leeward Island Air Transport, LIAT, has partnered with the Discover Dominica Authority in an effort to reduce fares to Dominica for this year's Carnival celebrations. This was revealed by Director of Tourism and Chief Executive Officer of Discover Dominica Authority, Colin Piper. These were some of the headline stories making the news this week. For details of each of these stories and others, visit our website or Facebook page. Back to you, Kerdisha.
Thank you, Priska. Shaakira Pierre is next with the Creole highlights.
Bienvenue à ce nouvel accueil. Moi, c'est Shaakira Pierre. Premier ministre Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit a encouragé tout cet gouvernement à communauté Caraïbe pour mettre plus d'efforts pour finir tas rangement pour tout cet gouvernement. Pendant une conférence, cet gouvernement de communauté Caraïbe, Honorable Skerrit dit, même CARICOM supposé mettre plus d'efforts à CARICOM Single Market et puis économie là. Premier ministre a aussi dit que mon région là c'est un sujet yo ka discuter. Manière pour augmenter produits touristes en région là, c'est un autre majeur sujet CARICOM ka gade parce que pays Caraïbes là ka ni pour bako yo ap gam pour faire plus touristes visiter ces pays là. À cette nouvelle, constituency Roseau Valley qui bénéficie d'un lot projet. Parole ça la sorti d'un membre parlement pour constituency là, Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre. Honorable Dr. McIntyre take a parler pendant un meeting à Trafalgar, jeudi semaine là. Ministre Foreign Affairs, Honorable Francine Barron, Ministre Tourist, Honorable Senator Robert Tong, et puis Ministre Employment, Honorable Ian Douglas, aussi était un meeting ça là. Honorable Senator Tong parle contre l'importance tourisme en village là. Il dit tourisme en village c'est un grand bagay en Caraïbes là. Ministre Employment Honorable Ian Douglas fait annoncement qui gouvernement qui établit un projet pour constituency ça là. Projet ça là qui est financé en bas programme Citizenship by Investment. Honorable Douglas aussi parle contre geothermal plant là. Ministre a dit les projets ça la fini, tout Dominique qui bénéficie au projet là. Secretary General pour Communauté Caraïbe là, His Excellency Erwin Larrock, dit CSME c'est meilleure manière là pour augmenter l'économie et puis développement pour Caraïbe là. La rock take a parley and your conference state government hold community Caraïbla. Secretary General Lacque pleaded government CARICOM qui mette plus effort pour développer CSME. Et puis finalement, même Parlement pour Petite Savane, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darou, le gouvernement fait $150,000 available pour petit business à constituency là. Même Parlement a fait annoncement ça là pendant un meeting pour constituents en Belleville Chopin, jeudi semaine ça là. L'argent là pour projet ça là, c'est le programme Citizenship par Investment. Ça c'est tout pour Nouvelle en Creole. Non, moi c'est Shaakira Pierre. Ni un bon week-end. Au revoir.
Stay tuned for your tip of the day. Make healthy eating and physical activities fun. Take advantage of physical activities that you and your friends can enjoy doing together. Be adventurous. Try new sports, games, and other activities as well as new foods. You'll grow stronger, play longer, and look and feel better. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I'm Kerdisha St. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.